Hello everybody, I'm Laura Harris from Penguin Random House and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the books we're excited about, which is really all of them, but picking out a few highlights of books published in this last quarter of the year and also some of the books we're really thrilled about publishing next year. A little bit like choosing a favourite child, it becomes quite difficult to pick out and share with you what are highlights when we have such an array of beautiful books on our list. It's such a privilege to work with the editorial team and the authors and illustrators that we work with to create these books and get them out there and hopefully into the hands of children. It has been a challenging year for so many people, for all of us really, and certainly for children's book creators and the limitations that they've had on their livelihood. So being able to work with books and have them actually printed and ready to go out is something we're really, really proud of. So I'll share a few of them with you. First up, I really want to talk about is Melina Marchetta's new series of books, What Zola Did. Now, Melina, many of you would know for many, many years as both a young adult writer and also an adult writer more recently. She also, of course, won an AFI for her screenplay of Looking for Alibrandi. But in more recent times, we've been working with her on a series for much younger children, and I'll share it with you. So here we have the gorgeous Zola, and as you can see, there are activities, the storylines actually go on the days of the week, and it just follows Zola and her family in very ordinary ways, but in a rather extraordinary writing style. There are beautiful illustrations throughout by Deb Hudson, which really capture just community and a neighbourhood. And even though, like many books, this would have been in the planning for a long, long time prior to what 2020 gave us, it really, I think, has become more meaningful in regards to what this year has brought us. It is about your neighbourhood, the man back that lives behind you, kids at school, teachers, and just doing very, very simple things, but children will identify, and we're already off to a fantastic start with What Zola Did on Monday and Tuesday already there, but we will be continuing into next year, right through to What Zola Did on Sunday. We already know what she did on Saturdays. Sunday's a little bit of a surprise. Also in the young fiction category, we've been working on and creating a further Puffin identity. Obviously, the Puffin is a huge symbol of the books that we do and has been for 80 years this year, because it is, of course, the 80th birthday of Puffin in the world. Not so 80 years Puffin Australia quite yet, and just to clear it, I've not been looking after for Puffin for 80 years either, although some days I look like I might have. Using the Puffin brand and the beautiful Puffin emblem, we've been working to do some non-fiction for young children, and we have created the lovely Puffin Little. Now, Puffin Little, like I said, comes in non-fiction areas and they're fully illustrated. And in this particular case, it's a little historian, Puffin Little, and this one covers the Anzacs. Then we have Puffin, a little explorer, and we have non-fiction stories, non-fiction information, I should say, about the ocean. They're beautiful series of books where the Puffin really hosts children through the information, right through to scientists and robotics, and we have environmentalists, we have a chef and a cook. There are so many topics that I'm sure you'll be able to match children to at least one of them, if not more. We're really proud of this series and we're hoping to do more. We've started them this year and there'll be more of those in 2020. Also coming up in the non-fiction area, one of probably Australia's most beloved authors and illustrators, Terry Denton, has a new book with us called, because it is true, Terry Denton's Really Truly Amazing Guide to Everything. Now the title says it all, But if you know Terry at all, you'll know that there is nothing ordinary about how he approaches everything. So there are many what appear to be ordinary things and discussed and illustrated in extraordinary ways. And I will flick through a few pages of this one because it really is not really, it's extraordinary. So, and it's loaded with information. And of course, being Terry, it's joke after joke. There's layers of both information in the actual text as well as the illustrations. It really is a remarkable book, beautifully produced. It's so satisfying to be able to do a beautiful hardback edition, as this is. Fantastic gift, and a book that I think is timeless and belongs in every household. So I really recommend that for you. Big Christmas book for us, and we hope to be doing more with the wonderful Terry Denton. Anna Walker is perhaps one of the most beloved author-illustrators we have in this country, and we've been very fortunate to have published quite a number of books with her, both with Jane Godwin and her own writing as well. And this year, Hello Jimmy is out in the world, and I'm so thrilled with this book, and I'm delighted to see how Anna has grown and what she's achieved. It really is a remarkable and moving story, and her artwork is just beautiful in this. And won't tell you too much of the story, only to tell you that yet again Anna has just hit on a particular relationship and the inner workings of a child and how they feel. And it's such an emotional experience, this book, that she captures so beautifully, and both in her artwork and just the slightest change of expression in a character gives so much. And she's such a master storyteller, both visually and in text. I'm going to show you just some of the artwork. Just this, for instance, is just one thing, and it features birds, which seem to be a central theme, but in fact it really is about the relationship between a father and a son. I really recommend it to you, Anna Walker's Hello Jimmy. In 2021, we have a number of debut authors and also some fantastic second and third novels by a remarkable group of authors. It really is a feast in 21, and I thought I might just share some of those and let you know what's coming. Crystal Sutherland has had a few books published, and most recently her book Our Chemical Hearts was even made into a TV movie which has been streaming recently, which is huge for a first-time author and debut novel. But her book for next year, House of Hollows, I think is a remarkable, sophisticated, and importantly exciting book for next year. I think this cover is quite remarkable, and having shown many teenagers this book, and a few of them have read it as well, they're completely in love with it. To have such an original voice who can write so beautifully and engage with her audience as well is really exactly what we're looking for in young adult writing. Crystal Sutherland, unbelievable book, House of Hollows, next year. Also next year, we're very fortunate to have the next book by Yasmin Abdelmageed, which is Listen Layla. And Yasmin, many of you would know, who wrote her own autobiography and went on to write another young adult book for us. This is her second book. It's also being published in the UK, and we're thrilled to have more work by Yasmin. Original, funny voice, and a lot like her. It really is a fantastic narrative. Thrilled about that. Shirley Ma's book, A Glass House of Stars, is a remarkable story, and this really is the beginning of a magnificent career for Shirley. We all believe in her and this story, and I think it'll be a book that people share, and word of mouth will be huge on this next year. I really recommend it and hope you look out for it. And what will be a complete publishing event in 2021 will be the new book by Lynette Noni. We're so excited to be publishing Lynette and working with her. Book 1, The Prison Healer, will be out next year. Lynette is a remarkable writer, a lovely human being, and The Prison Healer really is a very, very special book. I know she has many, many fans, but I hope with what we're able to do with Lynette next year that The Prison Healer actually brings her an even wider audience. I really recommend her to you. She's a master storyteller, and we're really proud to be publishing her in 2021. Thank you for your time.